Whatever they did to me made me totally indestructible and completely
No.
unfuckable.
You look like the inside of other people's assholes.
I didn't ask to be super, and I'm no hero. But when you find out your worst enemy is after your best girl, the time has come to be a fucking superhero.
Deadpool. Man, a lot of people out there talking about Deadpool. Good old Deadpool. Can't wait for that Deadpool. What the fuck is that? A lot of people don't know what Deadpool is. Well, before we get into this review, I got you covered. Let me give you a little history right here. So, Deadpool, and Martin, you correct me because you're one of them funny book guys out there. I don't know who Deadpool is at all.
Deadpool's one of those characters that I was never all that keen on, so it's kind of a blind spot for me.
He's in everything.
And he's in, okay, Martin, you know what? Be my chance to actually, the pupil has turned into the master, Martin.
Perhaps.
I'm the master nerd now. Let me show you a thing or two. So, Deadpool premiered in the early 90s. In the issue of the New Mutants.
During the dark ages of comic books.
Number 98, Martin. You got that issue right there? Of course you don't. You don't know Deadpool. But that's a well sought out issue right there. And that is when Deadpool was first introduced as pretty much a super villain. Just straight up asshole. There ain't nothing funny about him. One of that cracking jokes or anything. No, I'm just here to fuck with people and kick ass and take over the world if I can and get paid while I'm doing it. Maybe get a bitch or two. Somehow, over time, he evolved, and he became almost a comedian. Some people describe him as a murderous, psychotic Bugs Bunny.
Right.
Who gets on the nerves, it just pisses off, just fucking makes everybody angry, whether you are a hero or a villain. He's a pain in the ass for everyone. No one really likes him. You know,
he's an equal opportunity asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Deadpool's the only person in the Marvel Universe where he'll walk in the middle of a fight and villains in here is going like, oh, fuck. This motherfucker right here. Wolverine hates his ass.
Well, plus there's a whole, whose side is he on this week?
Yeah, because he's schizo. He's schizophrenic. He's insane. He's crazy. The guy got his powers because he has the power to regenerate. And that came from an experiment they called Experiment X or something. Weapon X, where gave him the power to regenerate, made him almost invincible, also made him ugly as shit.
It's the same thing they did to Wolverine.
Except Wolverine remained handsome.
Yeah,
Wolverine already had his power.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Deadpool, who goes by his real name is Wade Wilson, he ended up looking like a turd with eyes. So, fucked up. But you know what? It made him crazy. And at this point, he's like, hey, what have I got to lose? Also known for going out there, and you'll hear this often with him, breaking the fourth wall. Almost every comic book he's in, he connects with the reader because he directly addresses the reader. Sometimes right on the cover, right there. He's talking about, hey, if you're buying this book, can you call me a cab? That Deadpool.
Wow.
Deadpool at the Apollo.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You'll be here all week, unfortunately. Now, he was so different from any other hero in the Marvel Universe because he just broke so many walls, broke ground, connected with readers and personally in a different way. People, he became a beloved character. He knows he's a comic book character. People love that. So people were baffled when they saw Wolverine Origins and they fucked him up.
Oh yeah, because his nickname is the Merc with the mouth because he won't shut up. And then the first time they put him on screen, they give him no mouth at all.
I mean, they put like that postage tape over his mouth right there. You see that?
I mean, it was hilarious in as much as they cast Ryan Reynolds, who is a very funny guy.
And people were saying he's
like,
perfect.
That's perfect. He's perfect. And they found a way to make it so the opposite of perfect.
It's the Merc with a mouth, and they made it to where he couldn't say shit.
We're going to make Spider-Man get bit by a fly.
Yeah.
How did this work?
Spider-Man going to walk wherever he goes.
Catching cabs.
Yeah. In the movie.
It is New York.
And the movie, it wasn't that character whatsoever. He didn't even, they gave him the katanas, the swords, but they gave him like they put him in his hands like Wolverine. Right. And all they did was make him fight. And by this time, he's supposed to be cracking jokes. He's supposed to be breaking the fourth wall, talking to, oh, look at me kicking Wolverine's ass. Y'all like that? And he ain't said shit at all. And what was the circuits on his body?
Well, in that, like, they gave him power. Like, they gave him a whole bunch of other people's powers. Because at the end of that movie, he already had regeneration, and then he could use Cyclops' eyes. He had the sword coming out like Wolverine. So they're like, oh, we're just gonna fuck them all up.
Yeah, and that was one of the most boring fights in cinematic history.
Really was.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's two dudes that heal instantly fighting each other.
3 dudes. Remember Stapleton showed up too.
Oh yeah,
Like, there should have been some point when they just stopped and went, what are we doing?
yeah. He
Just hugging each other.
yeah.
I can regenerate. I'm so tired.
Shit, can we regenerate some drinks, man, and get this over with? Even he's like, I mean, you can look at Ryan Reynolds. He was upset about this. Nothing he could do because he signed up for it. He signed up for it like, I finally get to be Deadpool. Good. You got a contract. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, it's almost like what ends up happening to him in the new movie, where he signs up for an experiment and finds out it's not what he thought it was.
Oh no. They fucked up so bad with that movie. I mean, you look at this. It was during a dark time where people tried to get all that comic book money, and you had people who knew nothing
Zero.
about comic books coming in to direct comic book movies. It's like hiring a chef who can't cook. So they fucked up so bad they had to go in and fix it by time travel.
Right.
If they could, they would have built a real time machine. They said, fuck it. That's when they came in. They said, you know what? Perfect time to make X-Men Days of Future Past.
It's funny how everybody loved the X-Men movies, and the minute Bryan Singer walked away, they fucked it up.
They turned
the
the shit.
like, wow, I wasn't going to come back, but I just can't look at it like this.
I can't do this. I can't let y'all do
You've
this.
done to my baby.
You've killed them. And then, so with time travel there, they went back and they fixed a lot of stuff. They pretty much changed the timeline. Characters that they fucked up before, they fixed. Everything's perfect now. Storylines are moving all like they should. The world is in harmony again, except for Deadpool. And people like, damn, y'all can't fix that one thing, the one that needs it the most? That was probably the biggest fuck up y'all ever done. And 20th Century Fox said, well, you see, the problem is that this is a PG-13 world that we living in right now. That Deadpool, that's some rated R shit, and we can't let him come up and mess that up. All right, we got you. You need a proof of concept is what you need. Ryan Reynolds said, well, shit, I need a hit, too. I need some money.
They've given me way more chances than they've given anybody else.
Ryan Reynolds had one more chance before they were going to boot his ass out of Hollywood, pull that trapdoor lever. So he got together, lent his talent, probably even some of his money. And y'all remember, it was a year and a half ago when that test reel dropped, the animated test reel where Ryan Reynolds' voice played as Deadpool.
Oh, hello there. I bet you're wondering why the red suit. Well, that's so bad guys can't see me bleed. Hey! Let's hope these guys are wearing their brown pants.
Surprise, motherfuckers! And it was a surprise. People saw this. And this was not released with 20th Century Fox. It was released by some. And Ryan Reynolds even came out and said, "Yeah, I might have done that.
You don't say."
My finger might have slipped and pressed send on YouTube. I don't know." But the fans went crazy, and the nerds said, "We're gonna pull a jihad on fucking 20th Century Fox if y'all don't make this shit."
Funny how that didn't work for Thomas Jane.
Oh, with the Punisher? Yeah, you know, not 100% proven to work all the time, but for Deadpool, there was a demand.
That was a little disclaimer at the very bottom.
The thing is, they fucked up the Punisher about 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Yeah.
People weren't going to let that slide with Deadpool. They said, no, we got to fix this now. We saw what happened to the Punisher. We got to jump on this now. So, at this point, was it a wise choice? Did it work? You are doing a rated R property now, because that's what they said. No, you know, the nerd said, yeah, you better make this shit. 20th Century Fox said, all right, we do it. And make that shit R too. Fuck, man, not. That's the only way Deadpool can be done.
I think also after the Fantastic Four, they were like, yo, we got to try something.
Oh.
Maybe the nerds are right this time.
Yeah, that is true. After Fantastic Four, they said, we'll try anything.
Basically.
Okay, what do you guys want?
Yeah. Doesn't always work when the fans ask for something. But in this case, they said, please trust us. We know what we're doing. Does it work? Was it a wise choice? Well, if you ask Ryan Reynolds, fuck yeah, he needed a hit so bad. Throughout this movie, Ryan Reynolds is having the time of his life. When he ain't wearing that mask, he is smiling so big. And it's not a smile of like, oh man, this is awesome. He's like, thank God. Because he knows it's good. He's like, man, I had one more chance to fuck up. And that was it. And what I just told you kind of applies to the same thing with this movie right here. Instead of being a comic book character that he's aware that he's a comic book character, you have Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, a.k.a. Wade Wilson, who realizes that he's a comic book character in a comic book movie. And the story's kind of the same. Gets mutated, regenerates. He's talks a lot of shit. But here, he's more of an anti-hero, not a superhero, and he only cares about one thing, not saving the world, not trying to help the average citizen. He's like, man, I got to get my girl back.
Oh, I also got to get revenge on the son of a bitch who did this to me.
Oh, yeah. And the dude that fucked my face up. I got to find him, have him turn me back, and then kill him.
Right.
I mean, he's going to die, you know. That's a given. But this right here, man, I'm going to tell you something. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of hype. They're really pumping up that R rating because they said that this is not an R. This is a hard R.
Oh.
That R that you find at the end of the N word. Right. It's a hard. I was
going to say that.
Yeah, it's that hard. And a lot of people are looking at this and they're saying, man, you know, I've already heard some people saying, oh, this is childish. It's too violent. It's just playing up to what teenage boys want to see: the sex, the nudity, the all the curse words and the potty mouth and all the blood and violence. Let me just say, if that's what you're reading into this, you don't fucking get the point. You haven't looked past anything at all. You haven't even attempted to rub past the surface. Because if you look at this, this is one of the best satires of not comic books, but of blockbusters. This makes a big statement about blockbusters, the superhero genre that's out there. For all of you guys who are out there saying that this is just another superhero movie where they just threw in more blood and tits, you are so full of shit.
It could have been that.
It could have been that.
It could have easily have been that and would have satisfied those hardcore Deadpool fans. Like I said, I wasn't that big of a fan. I'd seen him in some stuff. I liked him in Thunderbolts because he was in love with Elektra, but she was fucking the Punisher. It was kind of cool.
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about.
But you are aware of those characters
Kinda.
because you've seen those movies.
Sure.
But but I thought, like, okay, here's what I would like to see in a Deadpool movie, or at best. And I would say they went like, we could do much better than that. And this is packed with so much stuff, I wasn't prepared for it.
Yeah.
Corey, I'm going to get your opinion in a minute, but let me tell y'all something. This is not even a superhero. This is not even a superhero movie per se. It is an anti-superhero movie. Yeah, it's all of that. But Deadpool, besides being this character that you see in this film, Deadpool might as well be a comedian on stage at a roast with nothing but superheroes in the audience, right? Talking shit to all of them. Look at this motherfucker, claws and shit. You know? It skewers the genre at a time where it's needed. When we have superhero movies, even though they're successful, when the creativity is starting to lag, this movie is a warning sign. It's to boost your shit up.
Well, it's also like right when the genre looked like, all right, even though they're good, we're getting the same thing over and over. It's like, man, it's got to grow. It's got to do something different or people are going to get sick of it. And here's that thing that's different.
This is the biggest shakeup that you can see. I mean, this movie is touching on things that I've been talking about for years now. Years. Deadpool knows what I'm saying. No, fuck that. No, don't tell me to calm down. I've been talking about this for years, and it took Deadpool, a $30 million low-budget fucking anti-hero, come in here and do the shit. One of the things I hate the most in superhero movies is that old anime superhero Tim Tebow and landing that they make where they land on one knee.
The hero landing.
The hero landing. They land with their head down and they look up like this. I mean, that's fucking lame. I've said it for years. I give Deadpool points for coming in and calling bullshit on that.
Go get some.
She gonna do a superhero landing. Wait for it. Woo! Superhero landing.
Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
Totally impractical. They all do it.
You're a lovely lady, but I'm saving myself for Francis.
That's why I brought him.
I prefer not to hit a woman, so please play.
God damn, when I saw that, I was like, y'all could let that brother get one punch in.
I mean, that's why I brought her? Oh, no, finish your tweet. That's fine. Just give us a second. There you go. Hashtag it. Go get her, Tiger. Oh, I so pity the dude who pressures her into prom sex.
Or the girl that pressures her in the fucking sex, because I'm looking at that. She got that super lesbian thing going on right there.
Yeah, I every trailer up until I saw this movie, I thought that was Rachel Lee Cook. But I was just like, I know she's older than this, but damn.
You know what? Deadpool kept calling her Sinead O'Connor, and I thought it was her, man.
Nothing compares to you, Dan.
Yeah. Like, damn, she looks good on screen, man. That's, what's her name?
Negasonic Teenage Warrior?
Yeah, played by Brianna Hildebrand, man, who is a really fun character in the film. But, you know, the thing with this movie is that I'm telling y'all how self-aware this film is. It knows exactly what it's doing. If y'all don't fucking get it, then you're stupid. I mean, 2 minutes in, there's the credits, and the credits are telling you that they know how to come in here and tell you that blockbusters and superhero movies are bullshit. Damn, huh? You gonna you chomping into them fucking fries, man? Shit. I mean, I tried to sit. Maybe I got superhero hearing or something, because I tried to ignore that shit. I was just
let's postpone the review and let fries.
You can finish though.
I know, but let me tell you, take the fucking fries out the bag, man. I love when people
everything.
Take everything. Fuck, I can wait. I'll sit up here and wait, brother. Dun, 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 dun. For fucking Wendy's too. That's your first problem. Yeah, ball it up. I'm like Deadpool in this fucking thing. Yeah, go ahead, take your time, man. Hashtag it.
Well, he's got to go back and throw an alligator through the window.
Yeah. Throw an alligator at him. Where was I? Yes. 2 minutes into this, man, with the opening credits, to let you know how self-aware they are. They're talking about the director of the movie. They don't give you a name. They're talking about directed by some asshat.
Right. Forgot about the opening credits.
Produced by some fuckers. You're like, damn.
Produced by some fuckers. Yeah, Deadpool don't give a fuck. Yeah, made by the studio that just wants to make money. Fuck them. You know, it's... and you think the heroes are the villains even, are shallow in this? They even tell you that in the credits. Starring a British dude. As the villain.
A British villain, yeah.
A British villain. A British dude. The movie really doesn't give a fuck on the outside, but really is one of the smartest satires that you will see, not of superhero movies, but of the business. Korey Goodwin. I don't like how you're sitting over there quiet, brother. You know, you like to be contrary sometimes.
Yeah, you do. What's up?
Am I going to get jumped if I don't agree with y'all?
Let's see.
So I think they did a good job of, yes, they brought some new lifeblood back into it, and I think they did a great job of, you know, using that hard R again, which is something you're going to hear a lot when you explain Deadpool. But
see,
but I do think another positive thing. I apologize. I messed that up a little bit, but I think they did a good job of calling like, oh, you need to look at this, and they do this too much in movies.
Even
however,
Deadpool's like tread carefully,
and this
brother.
Is why, no, because I'm quoting you. This is something that you said you hate seeing in superhero movies because it happens all the time. Where's the last fight scene always taking place?
Up in something high, and something that always blows up.
And okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they're trying to say we're bringing something new to the table, but they're still keeping their foot in the old thing. I think if they would have went full, you know, balls to the wall crazy, I'd be like, all right, cool, that's great. But I feel like they're I think they did a good job, man. But I'm trying to get my words right. I'm trying to get my words right because I sound crazy right now.
Take your time, man.
You just sound wrong.
Okay, that's how you feel. But man, I'm trying not to get my rating right now. But
don't give your rating yet.
Yeah.
Especially since I got some more that I really don't feel like exploding right now.
I feel like they did a really good job, but I don't feel like they brought a whole new take to the superhero genre like you two feel. Like I feel that they did bring something new, but it's not a whole new take. It's not something that's going to revitalize or re-energize the superhero genre, because at the end of the day, it's still a superhero movie that treads on a lot of the same tactics that other superhero movies do.
I don't think of it as it's going to revitalize the whole.
I'm talking about him.
No, you want to know what I think that was a point I was going to save later. Mm-hmm. The movie does cheat a little bit. The movie's not perfect, first of all. And you know what? I'm going to be diplomatic with you, man. The movie, because you really, you don't know what you're talking about. Let's just say that right now. I mean, I'm saying this in the most respectful way.
All right.
You don't understand, really. Maybe you haven't seen as many superhero movies. Maybe you don't, you're not accustomed to being a critic yet. You know what I'm saying? That's the good one. But I'm going to help you out. Now, the thing with this film, the reason why I'm letting it slide on certain levels like this is because, as I said, it's very self-aware of what it does. Mm-hmm. Not only is it a superhero genre, not only is it a blockbuster, Ryan Reynolds is having so much fun of this, just making fun of himself.
Right.
Green Lantern, yeah, I did it. I fucked up. He makes fun of that.
They make fun of Green Lantern and Wolverine Origins so much. It's like, man, those are two of the worst superhero movies, but now this movie makes it worth it that those came out.
Yeah, and and they go through and they make. Evie says, "Yeah, I was a handsome dude at one time." There's a car chase in here, and it's in slow motion. You see a copy of People magazine going by. America's sexiest man. He's like, it's almost like Ryan Reynolds said, "Yeah, that got me somewhere, didn't it?" Because right after that came out, you saw shit just went downhill. He's able to be humble and make fun of himself. But you're right. Let's talk. You want to talk about some negative things? Mm-hmm. I'll tell you some negative things. They talk about he's the merc with the mouth, the smart ass of the Marvel Universe, the guy that won't shut the fuck up, and he really won't shut the fuck up. If there was nothing but Deadpool, if they didn't break it up and it was just a linear film, I would lose my fucking mind, man. Mm-hmm. But fortunately, they break up the movie where they chop it up, because they know this too. They do a lot of smart stuff in here. You have his love interest in this movie, Morena Baccarin, what's her name? Baccarin,
yeah,
who plays Vanessa, his girlfriend. So they're able to add a little bit of romance, a little bit of drama in there, especially when there's tension with him having cancer, which is the catalyst of him going and getting this experiment. And even though he's the smartest in those parts, we do get to see Wade Wilson be a human being besides just being a smartass, and it does break up that whole thing where he's just talking a mile a minute.
Listen, I've been thinking.
Really?
About why we're so good together.
Why is that?
Well, your crazy matches my crazy. Big time. And we're like two jigsaw pieces, the weird curvy edges.
But you fit them together and you see the picture on top.
Right.
Wade, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Only because you haven't gotten around to asking me. Will you, stick it...
Marry me?
Jinx?
Huh.
Why are you hiding that?
Nowhere.
And why does the lollipop smell like shit? There's in the clip, they digitized his ass crack out, but it's insinuating that he pulled this candy lollipop that he's going to propose with her out of his ass. So that's the kind of character that it is. And I like that they actually do this with this romance where they make it kind of sweet. They actually make it feel genuine, but they still stay true to those characters. In fact, I think his girlfriend is a prostitute in the movie.
Yeah.
And a stripper. It's like, God damn, you just covered all slutty bases.
She was a waitress at a strip club.
She was a waitress at a strip club,
yeah,
who hit the pole and sucked dick too. She's like, hey.
What movie did you see?
It was insinuated, man.
Okay.
She's working her way up the corporate ladder at that strip club. But what I will tell you, man, it is a situation where I don't think the movie's perfect. For one, I was kind of messing with Korey Goodwin. I mean, and when I was telling you that maybe you don't know enough about this, because I went in, I don't know nothing about Deadpool. Mm-hmm. I ain't no fucking nerd.
See, I do, so that's why I'm not gonna say I'm a hardcore Deadpool fan, but I've seen enough stuff to all right, I kind of get what goes on here. I played the game. I've watched some of the TV shows he's been in, so I figured, and I read up about it. But all right, what's this character about? And I think they did a good job of bringing Deadpool out, especially in this movie. I think they couldn't have done any better.
Well, I think that a lot of people, the people who are really going to be, who are going to get the maximum enjoyment out of this are the people who know this character. And they're the ones who are going to see that this character for some, I'm not going to say everybody, but for many, I will go on a limb and say many, they're going to see their character have a faithful adaptation of what they've read.
I don't know. Some of them are going to be like, well, they didn't call it Weapon X Experiment.
Yeah, except for that one fucking nerd, that one little nerd. Well, his katana is different. The handle of the katana is different in the comic books. You know,
there's
beat
small
that
things.
motherfucker.
There's small things that didn't include that they're not people. If you are a major Deadpool fan, you're not going to freak the fuck out about it. He doesn't have this. He'll get it later. Don't worry about that. They're building up to it.
If you were that little fucking asshole, beat that motherfucker up, man. Find the biggest bully you can find the biggest locker you can lock this motherfucker in, and leave him there for a fucking week and let him think about what he just said, because this is one of the closest things that you will get to this character. I've heard people say it. And the other thing about this is that I think they drop enough Easter eggs in there to where if you don't know what's going on, you're not going to get it, but that's okay. It does, not to get to what you're saying right there. What you laughing about over there?
Danielle brought her crew again.
Is that oh, is this Dan?
Yeah, her crew is expanding.
God damn, are you just growing chicks in a lab? Fuck, Danielle's. She's got
a hot chick tree in her backyard.
It is like vagina just growing exponentially in here, man. It's like
wait, you don't want to rephrase that?
No, I do not. No, I do not. I want to
make it sound like vaginas are just getting wider.
Vagina that's getting bigger.
Well, that's all I see sometimes. Danielle's been bringing. She's been bringing like girls in here, and they've been growing. It's almost like Gremlins. Like if you get Danielle wet, like you get more girls out of her.
We're phrasing, yeah.
I meant it just exactly like I said. Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you. You caught us on the fucking nerdiest night that we could have.
Yeah.
Should have been talking about comic books.
I know, like they walked in, I was like, all right, I gotta be cool, but I can't be cool talking about this
I know.
shit. Fuck.
The thing is, I love how these guys, they were nerding the fuck out until y'all got in here. They were like, oh man, Deadpool, this is the fucking most awesome movie. And yes, as a critic, I must say that the mise-en-scene of the
adaptation of literary characters.
His graphic novels.
Yeah.
I find this to be one of the more faithful.
Indubitably.
All of a sudden, you reviewing Shakespeare and shit. Because we got broads in here. Come on, man. I tell you, Deadpool wouldn't give a fuck. Welcome, ladies. Welcome. Charmed. Yes, welcome.
Did y'all get hand kisses when y'all came in, Devin?
I mean, as in you might beat the shit out of somebody. I'm sorry.
Oh, he said she looks rough.
All right, Pepe Le Pew. Get back over here.
I don't give a fuck. I freak out when girls come in. Oh, where was I? Oh, yes.
Yes.
My critical analysis of this motion picture says that the... no,
Do
man,
tell.
No. Here's the thing.
Yes, quite.
I do agree with you that the movie does cheat. Now, one of the characters that you have in here, and who was it? Is it Ed Skrein?
Is that Ajax?
Ajax. Now, this dude here is probably, out of all the shit this movie talks about, how we're different from all superhero movies, how we're coming in here, we're making great observations, we're changing the game. He's got to be the most boring villain that they've ever come up with. I don't care if it's supposed to make a point or not. You don't get to cheat with that. You know what I mean?
Would you say he's the most boring Marvel villain that they've had? It just all over Marvel.
It's
including
close.
The blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's close, man. It's close. He don't do nothing but smirk and say smart ass shit, and they think that because but no, we're making fun of that. Nah, you just didn't know what to fucking do with it.
He's basically the guy that Captain America beat up in The Winter Soldier in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
I didn't see that. I don't do that nerd shit. But no, and so I think the movie, as it goes along, and you're exactly right, in the climax of this film, which is what we saw with
you're gonna do a superhero landing.
That scene right here with the superhero landing. That climax is just every other climax. It hits every beat that every climax of every Marvel movie, and almost every superhero movie. And there's just nothing you can do to go around that, except that I will say, I'll give them some extra credit because they do actually bring out some good jokes here and there in the middle of the fight.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And those big battles don't have that. That's why you get so tired of them all the time.
Yeah, but then when I find something to complain about, I always go back to the stuff they get right, because I like how we're talking about they got Deadpool right. Oh shit, they made it's so faithful. That character's so cool. And Colossus is like, wait a minute, what? They fucked me up too.
Yeah,
yeah, twice.
They messed me up twice. At one time, I mean, for all the X-Men movies with the budget that they had, this movie probably cost it costs less than the cheapest X-Men movie that's out there.
Right.
And in this version, Colossus looks better than any version that they had. In the past versions, Colossus looked like a cross between the T-1000 and a boy band. It don't make, it looks like shit.
Yeah, it's like he was an afterthought. Just like, look, use the CG and make him look chrome, and the nerds will freak out just because they'll be so happy that they got Colossus at all.
Oh, yeah.
It was almost an Easter egg.
And I have to say that this version of Colossus that we're looking at right here, yeah, the CG might be a little rusty. Yeah, it might be obvious that this is a special effect. I didn't mean, shut up, I ain't you.
Yeah, clearly, because I would never gone there.
But I'll be here all week later. Now, sometimes it doesn't matter how the character looks. Sometimes it's just a matter of how you actually make that character, how appealing you make that character, how fun you make that character. Yeah. And the personality of this character is better than they've ever done. Well, they didn't really do shit with him at all before.
Right. Had him show up, punch some people, and then go on about his business.
Yeah.
You didn't even get to see him punch the people. He just walked through a door and it cut.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. There were times when he actually had, Colossus had a line. Hello, I'm shit would just cut.
He wasn't even Russian.
Yeah, he wasn't.
What's up, dudes? I'm Colossus. From Russia.
But the way they doubled down on him being Russian, that's what makes this character.
Yeah.
All the personality that went with him and all the funny stuff he said, how he played off being a straight man.
Yeah. And the character is voiced by a dude named Stefan Capicci or something. I don't know who the guy is, but great job at voicing his character. And I tell you, there's other things that they do with people in here. It's not perfect. T.J. Miller, not a perfect guy, plays Weasel, owns a bar, the confidant of Deadpool. Pretty much your average sidekick, pretty much your average T.J. Miller. He does what T.J. Miller does.
See, I enjoy
Whatever they did to me made me totally indestructible and completely
No.
unfuckable.
You look like the inside of other people's assholes.
I will say that those are ad-lib lines right there. And those two together, when you could tell that they're ad-libbing, Ryan Reynolds and T.J. Miller, and it works.
Well, they got the same kind of sense of humor. Like I said, if Ryan Reynolds wasn't doing this and T.J. Miller decided to work out, he could have been Deadpool. But usually T.J. Miller is a lot more in your face. I like how he was subdued here.
No, that's what I said. I liked him, but he's still, they hired him to be who he is. And that's exactly who he was in the movie. But it's, I'll say this much, man. There's a lot that these people understand about not only how to get this character right, not only about how to make an entertaining film, because that's the thing that they want to do. Over everything else, they want to make sure that this movie, no matter how much they want to appeal to the fans, no matter how much they want to make this rated R, no matter how much they want to go in and be a up-in-your-face anti-superhero film, it's still entertaining, and it works on that level for everybody. But also, this comes from skilled people. I think the guy's name is Timothy Miller, who's the director, and couldn't have picked the perfect guy for this. For one, the guy cares about the property, and for another, this guy comes from a background animation. You talk about how Deadpool is a cartoon character, how he's Bugs Bunny. This guy, you can see one of his films online right now. This is called Aunt Louisa, and it's this movie almost needed somebody who came from an animation background to do this. Like I said, I think that there's a lot of stuff in here that you can say it's stupid. Fine, I'll give you that. The way that he gets his powers, the way he got his powers is they just tortured him until he mutated in a garage, in a fucking empty garage somewhere, which I thought was the dumbest way to do that. But when you get right down to it,
I mean, that's what happened in the comic books, man.
I don't know, stupid. Stupid in the movie, stupid in the comic book. But I tell you this much,
okay.
So I don't.
How dare they follow the source material?
It's almost like you come and you go like, well, I got to say something negative. Even if I got to make it up.
Grasping at straws, man.
Well, I do, man. There's girls in the room.
Will chased them away.
Well, damn, Will, what'd you do, man? Like, right when Will walked in, they were gone.
They said, "No, we good."
Will is like, if I ain't getting it, nobody's getting it.
In fact, Will said, "Get the fuck out of here." But I'll just say this though. Like I said, man, I really feel like if this movie didn't have a superhero costume on it, If it didn't have, it wasn't in the superhero genre. It was just human beings talking about the superhero genre. It took place in a boardroom where it had made up human characters who played everyday human beings. Then people would say, "Oh, this is such a clever skewering and a satire of the Hollywood business."
Well, you certainly would. You said it like 3 times during this review.
Well, I'm saying it again. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you don't understand that, I don't even know why you're a critic. You need to give up your fucking badge right now. This is exactly what we needed at this moment right here. I thought I would never look at something and say that, rated R properties would be great for some of these PG-13 properties that we have. But the way things are going, Netflix having Daredevil out there, we have Jessica Jones now on Netflix, both kind of rated R properties. These are game changers, man. And now we have Deadpool doing it for the big screen. And it's going to be interesting to see because this does take place in the X-Men universe. It's going to be interesting to see how they shake up not only that franchise, but these stories now that they might potentially bring this character in. Sure. Especially with now saying, and the reason why I say that because now they're talking about making, we can finally make a version of Wolverine, maybe not in his own movie, but we can make him a rated R version when he's paired up with Deadpool.
Yeah, where his knives are actually cutting people.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead. You said you wanted to give you a rating.
Okay. I think they did a great job of translating it from the comic book to the big screen. I'm glad that they did make this movie rated R. I think the relationship between Deadpool and his girlfriend worked out really well. I thought when we talked about the trailer, I said, wow, that seems like it's going to be the worst part of the movie. And the way that they did film it, with the way they broke it up and have action and then show his backstory and things. So from there, I think they did that great. However, there still are parts, like I said earlier, where he's fighting, that same villain that nobody really cares about, and you're not going to remember like 3 months down the line. And they kind of follow that same mold for a superhero movie. And with that, I was actually bouncing between a Better Than Sex and a full price. But I'm just going to go ahead and give it a full price because it's not Better Than Sex.
Something, I was ragging on you earlier, but it is interesting to hear somebody who comes in and you're a fan enough. You're not like a huge fan, but you're a fan enough to like come in and say, all right, you know what? I'm not blinded by this. Because a lot of people are coming out now, just like they were with Star Wars, trying to say that this is a perfect film.
Right.
And you're right, man. It's not. But Martin, I'm sure disagrees with this.
Well, I disagree in as much as, while, yes, it's not a memorable villain. I don't even remember the guy's name or anything. But at the same time, Deadpool is so much. Everything in the movie is so much. The jokes are so much. I feel like having a villain that was equal might have been just enough to tip the scales where you're like, all right, I'm up to here. I can't take no more. I got too many things to focus on. I thought it struck a really good balance. The thing about this movie is that its real evolution, I think, started with Kick-Ass and then came to Kingsman.
Yeah.
Because I think without Kingsman, we might not have got this. But it showed it like, look, February, you make a rated R movie based on a comic book, and people will go see it now. It will make it a #1 movie.
Yeah.
So it's it's already been like the pump has been primed for this by those movies.
And you make an excellent point, man. I mean, everybody thinks they think that this is all of a sudden, but as we've talked about before, 20th Century Fox, as much as they might have messed up with the Fantastic Four, they have been slowly trying to creep away, saying, look, trying to keep up with Marvel, where everybody's trying to be a universe and trying to be Marvel. 20th Century Fox is finally saying, okay, we're not going to be Marvel. We need to take some other chances here. And you're right. I think up to Kingsman, they said, damn, this is working.
This is working. Let's do this. Kudos to Ryan Reynolds, not just for getting this, pulling this off, all the work he had to do and being so funny and perfect as Deadpool, but just as Wade Wilson. This movie really gives you a chance to see his acting range, because his origin, while it could have been a joke, like sort of like a Dark Man, I really felt for him in it. It was like, it was really torturous and hard to watch. And it's like, damn, you've made this such a sympathetic thing he's going through, even though it's so, out of this world, all these flops. But it's never like he was ever bad in those movies. He was like a good thing in a bad movie. And it's just like, man, that sucks for you. So it's, nice to see him get this. My biggest thing with the movie is that it's just so entertaining. It's one of those movies that's so packed with jokes that it's impossible for you to catch them all the first time you see it. I mean, either because somebody's laughing and you missed something, or you were still laughing at the last joke and you missed the one that came up in between. You almost got to watch it twice. And the handling of those 2 X-Men, even commenting on the fact that there's only 2 X-Men because of the budget. I mean, a lot of things you guys like go like, well, they did this. I don't know, like having the big fight at the end on that, carrier or whatever. Wasn't really in the sky so much. I guess I expect these, and they made enough jokes through it that it felt like, yeah, we know we got to do this, but we can still poke fun of it at the same time. I thought it, as a Deadpool movie, I thought it was perfect. It blew my expectations away. And I mean, I never give better than sex to something that doesn't really make me cry or show me something I haven't seen before. But this is so on the cusp. It's a super high full price.
Yeah, it is for me too. I mean, my complaints, and I think anybody who goes to see this, unless you have an aversion to just a lot of violence and a lot of gore, it's just not. It's just not for you.
Or joy.
That's true. I was sitting next to my buddy's girlfriend, and you see something where a dude gets splattered.
Oh man!
And she was just so like, oh,
yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, but if your chick is cool, if your girlfriend tells you, let's go see Deadpool, marry that chick, man. If y'all go see Deadpool and y'all hold hands and go home and have the best fucking sex y'all ever had, that's your life mate, man. Right there.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas.
Don't let it go.